A single bolt of lightning, it's more than just a flash in the sky, it's a momentary, violent rip in the fabric of the atmosphere. In that one instant, it can unleash over 1 billion joules of raw energy. For perspective, the energy in a powerful thunderstorm is sometimes compared to that of a small atomic bomb. So, it makes you wonder. In a world that's desperately looking for clean and powerful energy, why aren't we plugging our cities directly into thunderstorms? Today, we're going to look at the mind-bending science of taming millions of volts, explore the incredible new technologies being developed to do just that, and imagine how our world might change if we could turn these celestial sparks into a real power source. The idea itself isn't new. It feels like something straight out of science fiction and has fascinated inventors for over a century, most famously Nikola Tesla, who dreamed of a world powered by the atmosphere itself. Just imagine it, vast arrays of towers, silently waiting not for the wind or the sun, but for storm clouds to gather. Places known for their dramatic weather, like the American Midwest or parts of Southeast Asia, could become global energy hubs. Instead of dreading a big storm, we might actually welcome it as a force for good, a kind of celestial power plant delivering clean energy from the heavens. And you can see the appeal, right? Lightning is a natural, renewable phenomenon. Harnessing it would mean tapping into a power source that produces zero carbon emissions. It could supplement our existing power grids, offering massive bursts of energy during peak demand, or it could provide critical power to remote communities and disaster zones that are cut off from the main grid. This is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about looking up at a flash of lightning and seeing not just a beautiful, terrifying spectacle, but a source of incredible promise. The dream is powerful, but the reality, well, it's a lot more complicated. To understand why we aren't living in this stormy utopia, we need to face the huge challenges that have kept this dream just out of reach. So what's the holdup? Why is it so hard to catch lightning in a bottle? It really boils down to 3 major hurdles: the sheer violence of the energy, its maddening unpredictability, and the challenge of building something that can actually survive the hit. First, there's the power. A typical lightning bolt carries a current of around 30,000 amperes at millions of volts. But here's the real kicker. All of that energy gets delivered in just a few microseconds. Think of it like this. Your garden hose and a pressure washer might deliver the same amount of water over an hour, but the pressure washer does it with immense force in a concentrated blast. Lightning is the universe's pressure washer. Any system built to capture this would have to handle an instantaneous power surge that would vaporize most electrical equipment. It's an explosion, not a steady stream. Your standard battery or even the power grid can't handle that kind of deposit. It's like trying to fill a water bottle from a fire hydrant that's been cranked wide open for a split second. You'll waste most of the water, and you'll probably destroy the bottle. Second, lightning is famously random. We can count on the sun rising every day for solar power, and we can build wind turbines in consistently windy places, but a state-of-the-art lightning harvesting facility could sit idle for weeks, only to get hit multiple times in a single hour. Power grids need stability and predictability. 2 things lightning seems to actively resist. Finally, there's the physical challenge. For centuries, our main tool for dealing with lightning has been the lightning rod, which does the exact opposite of what we want. It safely guides the charge into the ground to protect buildings, wasting all that energy. To actually harness the strike, you'd need something that not only attracts lightning, but can also channel its biblical power without being destroyed. And don't forget, a bolt of lightning is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Any collection tower would have to be built from materials that could withstand that heat over and over again. These challenges have made harnessing lightning seem impossible for a long time, but what if we could change the rules of the game? For decades, the problems seemed too big to solve. But now, thanks to some bleeding-edge science, researchers are moving beyond just waiting for lightning to strike and are starting to actively control it. One of the most futuristic approaches uses high-powered lasers to create a virtual lightning rod. Scientists have shown that by firing rapid laser pulses into a thundercloud, they can create a channel of ionized air, a plasma channel, that's more conductive than the air around it. This laser-guided path essentially creates a wire made of light, encouraging lightning to follow a specific route down to a collection point. In a 2021 experiment on Santis Mountain in Switzerland, researchers successfully used this method to guide a lightning bolt for 50 meters. It's still experimental, but it could one day solve the problem of where lightning will strike. But what about when? Another groundbreaking area of research aims to trigger lightning on demand. In a world-first experiment between December 2024 and January 2025, Japanese researchers at NTT successfully used a specially designed drone to trigger a lightning strike. They flew a drone, protected by a sophisticated lightning-resistant cage, into a storm cloud while trailing a conductive wire. By flipping a switch on the ground at the right moment, they managed to trigger a lightning strike that the drone actually survived. With only some minor melting on its protective cage, this flying lightning rod could completely change our ability to control lightning, turning a random act of nature into a predictable event. Okay, so we can guide it with lasers and trigger it with drones, but how do we actually store that insane surge of energy? This is where the third piece of the puzzle comes in: advanced energy storage. A normal battery would be fried instantly. The solution will likely involve devices called supercapacitors. Unlike batteries that store energy chemically, supercapacitors store it in an electric field. This allows them to charge and discharge almost instantly, making them perfectly suited to absorb the massive, brief burst from a lightning strike and then release it in a more controlled, usable way for the grid. By combining these three technologies, laser guidance, drone triggering, and supercapacitor storage, the dream of harnessing lightning starts to look less like a fantasy and more like an enormous but maybe achievable engineering challenge. So with all this incredible new tech, when can we expect to power our homes with thunderstorms? Well, here's where we get a dose of reality. Even if we perfected the technology to capture every single lightning bolt that strikes the Earth, it wouldn't be enough to solve our global energy crisis. The hard truth is that while a single bolt is immensely powerful, the total energy from all lightning worldwide is tiny compared to what humanity uses. Estimates suggest that even with 100% efficiency, harnessed lightning could only provide a very small fraction of the world's electricity needs. The sheer cost and complexity of the infrastructure would likely make it far less practical than more reliable renewables like solar and wind. However, that doesn't mean the pursuit is pointless. The real-world impact might not be in replacing our power plants, but in providing specific high-impact solutions. Imagine flying lightning rod drones being deployed to protect airports, rocket launch pads, or outdoor stadiums from strikes. Or think about a future where local lightning capture systems provide emergency power to hospitals and shelters in storm-prone regions after a disaster. It could be a powerful supplemental source of energy in very specific situations. Perhaps the biggest impact will be the other cool tech that comes out of this research. The quest to tame lightning is forcing us to develop revolutionary new materials, high-voltage electronics, and ultra-fast energy storage. These innovations in supercapacitors, for instance, could have huge benefits in other fields, like improving the performance of electric vehicles or stabilizing power grids that rely on other renewables. So, what are your thoughts? Is harnessing lightning a futuristic dream worth chasing or a spectacular dead end? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring these big scientific what-ifs, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Ultimately, the quest to harness lightning is a testament to human ingenuity. It's a story of science pushing the very edge of what's possible. For now, lightning remains a wild, untamable force of nature. But with each new laser pulse and every drone that flies into the heart of a storm, we get one step closer to not just watching the storm, but conducting it. And that, in itself, is an idea powerful enough to light up the world.